Have you ever heard the saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover"? That idea is what inspired my UDL project. In The Jumbies by Tracy Baptiste, Jumbies are introduced as creepy, magical monsters. But as the story continues, we find out that they are much more than that. Some are scary, but others are kind, protective, and even loving. This made me wonder, what would happen if the Jumbies didn't look so terrifying? Would we still feel the same way about them? The big idea that inspired my project is that Jumbies are misunderstood. In the Jumbies, the mood is dark and scary, especially when Severin is described with insects crawling in and out of her skin. That moment made the story feel really gross and creepy. Then, as I kept reading, I realized the story was about more than just being scared. It was about relationships between people and Jumbies and how fear can get in the way. That's why I created a cute, fuzzy Jumbie who still acts magical and tricky, but looks soft and huggable. I wanted to shift the mood to show that these characters might not be so bad if you gave them a chance. My project connects to the idea that Jumbies are misunderstood because people in the story assume that Jumbies are evil just based on how they look. One moment that showed this was when the Lagahoo helped heal Corinne's leg, even though he seemed frightening at first. I also noticed that other Jumbies helped Corinne and Pierre escape the forest. And both the witch and Corinne's mother were gentle and kind. These parts of the story helped me see that the Jumbies can have good sides too, even if they're magical or different. That's why I made my soft, fuzzy Jumbie to help people see past what the characters in the story could not. For my project, I chose to sew a fuzzy plushie out of bright fleece fabric scraps. First of all, I drew a pattern myself and carefully cut out the fabric shapes. Then I stitched everything by hand and made sure the Jumbie was well stuffed and strong. Also, I chose this format because I love sewing and designing things. It is one of my creative strengths. Finally, making something people could touch and hold was the perfect way to show how huggable and harmless a Jumbie might be. I am most proud of the hand-sewn stitches I made for my plushy, fuzzy Jumbie. To begin with, I was really careful to keep each stitch the same size and the same distance apart. That way, when I stuffed the Jumbie, no stuffing came out of the seams, which showed I had done a good job. After that, I felt proud of the way it held together and looked polished. I know I put a lot of effort in, and it really shows in the quality of my project. In conclusion, I want my audience to notice how they felt about the Jumbies at the beginning of the book compared to the end. First, I want them to remember how creepy the Lagahoo, Duins, and Severin seemed at first. Next, I hope they think again about the moments when those same Jumbies were helpful, kind, or protective. Then, When they look at the cute Jumbie I made, I want them to question whether they were too quick to judge. My goal is for people to see that even strange-looking monsters like Jumbies can be more than just scary. They can be lovable too.